Right now at 6, authorities in Cherokee County recover the remains believed to be those of a missing teenager.
And we've got a fairly decent start to the day ahead of an absolutely beautiful spring-like day. Look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, drivers in the Sunflower State have a new law to help maintain road safety.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Melissa Alexis.
I'm Chris Warner. It's Tuesday. It is March the 25th. And thankfully, you folks at home probably didn't hear it. There's screws on the back of this that probably need to be removed. I slid it over and it made a very unpleasant sound. Not a good way to start Tuesday, but it is going to be a great Tuesday across the area. So if you didn't get to enjoy yesterday, you've got plenty of chances to enjoy. I think we're past winter at this point.
Okay,
I think
awesome.
so. I think we're looking good. I mean, I know we're officially in spring, but we've had stranger things happen in the 4 states. But I think we're looking pretty good over the next few days, including today. In fact, we're looking really good right now. And how do we know that? Well, we don't have to go outside. We have cameras outside that do the work for us, including this one in downtown Pittsburgh. And you can see it looks great. See, that's what I love. We've added all these, either between cameras we've added or the MoDOT cameras or KDOT cameras. We've got a dozen different ways to show you what it's like outside. So you don't have to go outside, but you really will want to go outside later today on what's going to be an absolutely beautiful spring-like day. MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line in Joplin's looking back north along Range Line, looking pretty good as well. Getting a few more cars out there, and those numbers, of course, will continue to increase through the morning as well. All right, to the afternoon we go. Partly cloudy skies, a light north breeze, and temperatures just absolutely perfect. I mean, now is a great opportunity really to air out the house. Last week you couldn't do it so much because even though the temperatures were nice, if you open your windows and you've got a 70-mile-an-hour breeze coming in one of those windows, it's going to do more harm than good. We were talking about spring cleaning earlier. I'll tell you right now, that would have made it even worse. But now with a light northerly breeze, great opportunity to open the windows, air out the house a bit, and enjoy this beautiful day. And we are much warmer this morning than we were yesterday. Anywhere 10, 12 degrees warmer. 53 in Joplin right now. 46 in Pittsburgh and across the area. Majority of us mid-upper 40s and some low 50s. So again, a very nice start to the day with the warm spot right now. Cassville sitting at 55. Kids getting on the bus this morning right about 49. Partly cloudy and a light west wind at around 5 to 10. And when that bus brings them back home, still partly cloudy, about 70. And the wind's shifting out of the north at around 5 to 10. With our highs today going into the upper 60s and low 70s with those partly cloudy skies. So a very nice day. This thing, it can't do the emojis and stuff, so I can't put a smiley face down there, but you kind of get the idea. It's going to be a beautiful day. This will repeat again for us tomorrow. Then we start seeing thunderstorm chances heading into the weekend. Details on all of that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Melissa?
Thanks, Chris. Authorities in Cherokee County, Kansas recover remains suspected to be those of a teenager who had been missing for more than 15 months. Missing person posters have been displayed on some area businesses since 19-year-old Jaden Santini was reported missing in December of 2023. The family said he could be in the Miami, Oklahoma or Joplin area. Now, the Cherokee County Sheriff's Department says they've received a call reporting the discovery of skeletal remains in a wooded area just west of Columbus. There were personal items in the area which point to the identity of the person as Santini. They say there's no evidence of foul play and no one else is being sought in connection with this incident. The remains have been turned over to the coroner's office for official identification. Drivers on Kansas highways will be required to move over when passing stationary vehicles displaying hazard warning lights. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly signed that bill into law yesterday. Historically, move-over protections had been limited to emergency personnel. Over time, these protections included road service vehicles, utility, and tow trucks. Under this new law, move-over protections will apply to all highway vehicles displaying hazard lights. A supporter says 82 crashes occurred in Kansas from 2018 to 2023, with someone in a vehicle while on the side of the road. Investigators confirm an unintentional electrical fire caused the blaze that damaged a home in Carl Junction and displaced a family over the weekend. Firefighters also rescued 2 cats that had hidden in a bedroom. No injuries were reported in the fire. Community members can find ways to help the family through Bulldog Drive-In, which is a sharing assistance information. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. The arrival of spring means plenty of fun events are on the horizon at Wildcat Glades Nature Group. The group has only a few staff members, which means many of their events are run by volunteers, and they need more. The executive director of Wildcat Glades says volunteers help make events possible, and without them, events don't run as smoothly.
If we don't have enough volunteers, our programs get smaller. We have to leave different parts out. Maybe it's a portion of May the Force be with you that we can't pull off because we don't have enough people to do that.
The process to become a volunteer with the group includes an application and an interview. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Live Nation settles a class action lawsuit filed by investors who say it lied about its vulnerability to antitrust complaints. Plus, Congress demands answers after top officials leaked military plans. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Tuesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning, Klarna and DoorDash are teaming up to offer flexible payment options. In the coming months, DoorDash customers will be able to select Klarna as a pay option when ordering groceries and more. The options will include paying in full or 4 equal interest-free installments. There will also be a pay later option, which allows customers to defer payments to a more convenient time. Klarna's new collaboration will also include flexible payment options for the Dash Pass annual plan. The largest shoemaker in the world is in a slump. On Thursday, Nike announced its global sales have fallen by 9%. That includes a 17% drop in China, as well as a 9% drop in North America, the company's largest market. The sports apparel giant has seen its stock drop 30% over the last year. More consumers are passing up pricey shoes and athletic attire for cost-effective basics. Nike is also seeing tough competition from upstarts like Hoka and On. The company is in the process of trying to win consumers back by retooling its strategy and partnering with celebrity brands. Live Nation has settled a $20 million lawsuit around its alleged antitrust practices. Important to note is that this suit is not filed by customers, venues, or investigators. Rather, it was filed by investors in 2023. They claim the Ticketmaster parent company lied to them about its vulnerability to antitrust complaints. The plaintiffs argued the company should have warned them if it was likely to face scrutiny and fines. Live Nation said no legitimate complaint could be made due to the competition from StubHub, SeatGeek, and Vivid. But back in 2019, the Justice Department concluded the company violated the terms of a settlement to green-light its 2010 merger with Live Nation. By mid-July, the United States may not be able to pay its bills on time unless Congress acts on the debt ceiling. That's according to a projection released Monday by the Bipartisan Policy Center. The center said exactly when the so-called X date hits depends greatly on the revenue collected in the current tax season, the strength of the economy, new revenue from tariffs, and changes in spending by Congress or reductions in the federal budget could also have an impact. The U.S. hit its roughly $36 trillion debt limit on January 21st, which forced the Treasury Department to use accounting maneuvers and the cash it has on hand to pay the government's bills to avoid a first-ever default. This morning, members of Congress are demanding answers after a journalist reported he was inadvertently added to a group chat with top U.S. officials discussing highly sensitive military plans. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is slamming the Atlantic magazine article. Even as the National Security Council tells CBS News the messages seem to be authentic. Derek Waller reports from New York.
Lawmakers from both parties are calling for an investigation after that bombshell report claiming top Trump administration officials mistakenly shared plans for an imminent attack on Houthi targets in Yemen on the encrypted messaging app Signal with a journalist.
This is egregious irresponsibility at the very highest levels.
It's a concern, and we're going to look into it.
Monday, The Atlantic's Jeffrey Goldberg published an article claiming he was accidentally added to that 18-person group chat by an account sharing the name of National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. The chat appeared to also include Vice President J.D. Vance and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
I found it completely improbable that the top national security leadership of the United States would be discussing on a commercial messaging app the possible imminent attack on another country.
The National Security Council later told CBS News a thread included in Goldberg's article appears to be authentic. Still, Hegseth denied it.
This is the guy that peddles in garbage. Nobody was texting war plans.
President Donald Trump was asked about the report shortly after it was published.
I don't know anything about it. I'm not a big fan of The Atlantic.
Later, the White House added that the president continues to have confidence in his national security team and advisor. Derek Waller, CBS News.
The fight over the president's use of a wartime power to deport alleged Venezuelan gang members played out in an appeals court yesterday. One of the 3 appeals judges ripped the administration, saying Nazis during World War II were treated better than the group of Venezuelan migrants sent to an El Salvador prison earlier this month. The president's border czar says called these comments, quote, disgusting. The court's decision is expected in the coming days. That's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're starting with Skywatch Storm Tracker. Again, we got some clouds out there. We've got clear skies in some places, partly cloudy skies in others, and that will be the way our day goes for us. Got a very nice day lined up, and then we've got those thunderstorm chances into the weekend. Details when we come back.
Usually, when you're trying to shed a few pounds, you might lay off the fast food. But for one Rhode Island man, he says it actually helped him. Samantha Cheney explains.
When I stepped on the scale and it said 346 pounds.
Tom Carroll says he was always a bigger guy.
I liked being the big guy that had a good time, that could go out and eat pizza whenever and go have a beer and not think about it.
But all that beer and pizza started to catch up with him.
I knew I was really big, and I didn't want to go to a doctor and have them tell me you're really big and be embarrassed by that.
At just 32 years old, he had been struggling with some health problems, and he knew he had to do something. He found part of his answer here. That's right, Chick-fil-A.
We stumbled into this awesome salad at Chick-fil-A, and I thought to myself, if I can just have this salad every single day, I'll be okay with eating salad all the time.
A few weeks later, in the midst of some health problems, Tom stepped on a scale.
I just lost 60 pounds.
The only 2 changes, giving up alcohol and eating that salad every day.
Yeah, and we get very excited every time he comes in and see us.
You can just, by starting with one meal, focusing on making one meal healthier than it used to be on a consistent basis, can have a dramatic effect on your health.
After months of salad and no booze, his blood pressure was down to a healthy level, his blood sugar improved, and he felt better.
After about 6 months of keeping that weight off, that's when I decided to sit down and write the essay.
After posting that essay about his experience online, he's connected with others who have had similar stories of weight and health issues.
Being able to help other guys like me has been the most rewarding thing that I've ever done.
Not only is Carroll helping total strangers with their own weight loss journey, he's also found a community at his Chick-fil-A. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got a pretty decent day lined up for us. Again, a very spring-like day. Now continue into tomorrow, and then we are watching thunderstorm chances this weekend. I'll look at your forecast when we return. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 6:21 now on this Tuesday morning, starting with the future track. As we head into the afternoon, we'll have partly cloudy skies out there, light north breeze. It's going to be an absolutely beautiful day. Not as warm as we were expecting yesterday, but still not cold by any means. Just an absolutely perfect day. So not too warm, not too cold, just right. As we head into the overnight, we'll have mostly clear skies. Winds will begin to shift out of the east, and then eventually we'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies occasionally through the day on our Wednesday. But otherwise, again, not a bad day. Otherwise, temperatures quite nice. And the winds will begin to shift out of the south as we head into the late evening hours across the area. Then, as we go into very early Thursday morning, maybe as early as 2, 3 o'clock, we'll start to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. Not expecting any severe weather with this activity, but we'll have these showers and storms as we go through the morning. And then by about noon, 1 at the latest, they will be out of here. And we'll spend the rest of our Thursday dry and much warmer. We're looking to go upper 70s and low 80s out there. Mostly clear again overnight from Thursday into Friday, and a very mild night out there as well, ahead of some pop-up storm chances Friday. We'll talk about that in just a moment. For today, though, we're starting at 53 in Joplin. Winds are calm and skies, at least for the time being, are clear overhead. We have some clouds here and there, and our temperatures 10, 12 degrees warmer than where we were yesterday morning at this time. Most of us mid-upper 40s and some low to mid-50s in some cases as well. Partly cloudy through the morning, about 50 to start, into the low 60s by 11 a.m. That's ahead of our highs today. Heading into the upper 60s and low 70s, again with those partly cloudy skies, and a north breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Into the evening, still partly cloudy, mild, near 60 by 10. Calm winds tonight, mostly clear, upper 40s and low 50s for our lows. So another very nice start to the day. So into Friday, we'll have an opportunity for some pop-up storms out there. So it's one of those situations where not everybody necessarily will see showers or thunderstorms through the day Friday. Then we go into Saturday, and that's where we start watching things as we head into Saturday and Sunday. By Saturday afternoon, we'll start to see showers and thunderstorms developing, and some of those could be strong. Now, our severe risk, again, for the long range, there's only two categories, possible or probable. That possible has been removed. It does look like our severe threat has been tampered a bit as we head into Saturday, but we could still see some stronger storms Saturday afternoon into the evening and overnight and into early Sunday morning as well. And like we saw a week or so ago, we may be right on the edges of a larger severe weather outbreak to our east. So we could get some strong to possibly severe thunderstorms as we start our day on Sunday. So again, Thursday's thunderstorms, not expecting much. Same Friday. As we head into Saturday, we'll want to keep a close eye on it because things changed very quickly. We went from that broad severe threat across the region to no severe threat Saturday. And that's because they believe a cap will be in place, and that's what stops thunderstorms from developing. If that changes again, then our severe threat will change again as we head into Saturday. And then by Sunday, along and east of I-49, we see that severe threat return as we could be again on the beginnings of a larger outbreak to our east. But we still want to keep a very close eye on that. All right, so we got those morning thunderstorms Friday, Thursday, then we got some pop-up storms Friday. We'll keep our eye on those thunderstorm chances into the weekend, and it'll be a little cooler by next Monday into the upper 50s, and then the warm weather will make a return as we head into next week following Monday. That's Check Your Forecast. We're going to send it over to Melissa now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Topping Health Watch this morning. Preventable deaths in the U.S. are on the rise. A study published in JAMA looked at preventable and treatable health problems and found that life expectancy in the U.S. is dropping. At the same time, health is improving in Europe and other first world countries. The U.S. also spends more than any other country on health care. Breastfeeding a baby for more than 6 months can reduce the chances of developmental delays. A study published in JAMA showed children who were breastfed for at least 6 months had fewer delays in developing language skills, social skills, and motor skills than children who had less than 6 months of breastfeeding. A healthier diet in middle age can extend your life. A study by Harvard found people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who had a diet high in plant-based food but low in animal-based and ultra-processed foods had a greater chance of making it to the age of 70 without any chronic diseases. People who ate processed meat and sugary drinks had a lower chance of healthy aging. A 3D printer helped save the life of a New Jersey man whose skull was crumbling. As Xenia Molandado reports, the Navy veteran hopes others can benefit from his battle.
After 3 brain surgeries, 63-year-old Greg Morrison received not so great news.
My skull that they had put back was starting to deteriorate.
As part of his skull was caving in, his neurosurgeon, Dr. Nitish Patel of Jersey Shore University Medical Center, got to work. His team was able to construct a 3D model of Morrison's skull and then a replacement piece for the decaying fragment thanks to a 3D printer.
We can take a CAT scan, replicates Greg's anatomy in 3D, take that, identify the defect of what's missing, print out a perfect puzzle piece.
Morrison, an engineer and Navy vet, first suffered a brain bleed 2 years ago, which required 2 surgeries and then a third when a brain tumor was discovered.
Very few patients can go through what he went through and come out looking this good.
What was the biggest challenge you faced when performing this type of surgery?
The challenge, of course, is timing. In Greg's case, not only were we able to beat the time factor, but we were also able to modify the anatomy.
After his final surgery in November, the Jersey Shore native has since fully recovered and is back at work. By his side, George, the original replica of his skull.
I truly want people, no matter how challenging the obstacle is, to know there's hope.
Morrison hopes his story serves as inspiration for those battling a fight that seems impossible to win. Zinnia Maldonado, CBS News.
Not to look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, Independence Community College votes to approve a resolution to consolidate with Coffeyville.
And we've got a beautiful spring-like day out there for us. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, we have a few tips and tricks about how you can tackle this year's spring allergy season.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:30. I'm Melissa Alexis.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Tuesday. It's March the 25th. We're trucking right along 5 days or so into spring so far, and we've had some very spring-like weather here lately as well.
Beautiful day yesterday, beautiful day ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing out there. So if you didn't get a chance to get out yesterday, you could still do so today. Really, you could do so almost any day this week. We've got some storm chances out there, but nothing that should rain on your parade necessarily, at least through Friday. And then that changes into the weekend. We'll talk about that with you here in a moment. But first, let's get your Monday started with a quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Starting to get a little more daylight out there. You can see a couple of stray clouds, and those clouds will increase. We'll start to go partly cloudy through the morning. Quite a few more cars on the road now. MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line in Joplin. And into the afternoon, we'll have again those partly cloudy skies, a light north breeze, and temperatures. I know we were expected to be a little warmer yesterday. We're not going to be as warm, but as you can see, it's not going to be cold either. It's going to be just right with those temperatures heading into the afternoon today. And we'll even have calm winds overnight tonight, so just another very pleasant day and evening ahead of us. 53 in Joplin, a little cooler in Pittsburgh now, down to 42. Many of us, though, upwards of 10 to 12 degrees warmer than where we were yesterday. We do have most of us again into the mid to upper 40s and some low 50s hanging on out there. Cassville again still appears to be the warm spot, sitting at 54 this morning. Kids getting on the bus will be about right around 49. West winds 5 to 10 with those partly cloudy skies out there. By this afternoon, bus bringing them home about 70. Still partly cloudy, but now a north breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. With our highs today going into the upper 60s, low 70s with those partly cloudy skies and that light north breeze. So very nice day indeed. It's going to be pretty nice again tomorrow. Then we have some thunderstorm chances, and we're still watching the possibility for some stronger storms this weekend. We'll go over all that with you in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Melissa?
Thanks, Chris. Independence Community College votes to approve a resolution of intent to consolidate with its neighbor, Coffeyville. Both of the ICC Board of Trustees and the Coffeyville Community College trustees have been discussing the possibility of merging for more than a year. Last night's meeting wasn't open for the public to comment. Both schools are in Montgomery County and less than 25 minutes apart. There are 19 community colleges in Kansas, and Montgomery County is the only county in the state to have 2.
It would be great for the students in a lot of ways. They would have access to all the different campuses. It would affect some faculty and staff of both schools to some degree. But it looks like with the financial climate that this would probably be a good thing for our students and our taxpayers.
The next step is for both schools to contact the Kansas Board of Regents to get approval for a special public election. Tax season is in full swing, and the Parsons Public Library has a program that may interest people struggling with the filing process. The library is hosting a series of free in-person tax assistant events with the help of AARP. The event is open to anyone, but especially people over the age of 50 or who can't afford tax preparation.
Up to different organizations to help serve as a resource for our community. By having AARP here at the library, locally, it helps those who want to take advantage of that free tax service to not have to drive out of town to have that service done. They can just come here.
While the event is free and open to the public, participants should call the library to reserve an appointment. The tax assistance program will run every Monday until April the 14th. The good news is springtime is here, and hopefully it'll bring lots of sunny days. It can also bring lots of runny noses and itchy, watery eyes. KOAM's Lonnie Walton got some local expert advice that can help you feel a whole lot better.
I'm at Osborne Pharmacy in Miami, and I spoke to a local pharmacist who says, although there's no cure for allergies, there's things you can do to make you feel a lot better.
My eyes get runny and everything, but I just don't feel good.
Bruce Turner is a Miami local who struggles with allergies. He says he's thankful for his meds.
I take two different. I take one in the morning and one in the evening. It's usually when the wind's blowing strong.
And he's not the only one who needs those meds. Dr. Jack Osborne, a pharmacist from Osborne Drugs, says many have already been looking for relief. He says all many need is a few over-the-counter drugs.
They're called Flonase or fluticasone. This is the first-line therapy for really any type of allergy. It's a simple spray in each nostril once to twice a day.
And aren't you wondering what the doctor uses when he's not feeling well?
I take Allegra, which is a generic fexofenadine. Allegra is one of the ones that doesn't cause drowsiness.
And for those of you who don't like to use medicine, the pharmacist says there's some natural remedies like
neti pot. I try to use a neti pot once a month just to flush out your sinus cavity.
And Dr. Osborne says you should also be mindful for what drugs you choose to use, as some may cause drowsiness. Turner says he does what he can to keep his mind relaxed.
Usually just sit down and get a book, read, to try to get my mind off of it.
Reporting in Miami, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Now, Osborne says it's good to start taking allergy medicines right away because some can take up to 2 weeks to become effective. That's a look at our top stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Privacy concerns rise as 23andMe files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. And warming temperatures continue for today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. In Consumer Watch this morning, scientists say climate change is affecting winters around the world, including in the Alps of Europe. Studies find mountain towns there are warming overall, there's less snow, and Wendy Gillette reports from the Alps on how the changes are affecting tourism.
Bernie Simon leads snowshoe tours in the mountains around the quaint village of Andermatt, Switzerland, south of Zurich.
Since the early 80s, I've seen less snowfall and later start of winters. And of course, it is overall warmer during the winter.
It means Simon often heads to higher elevations to ensure snow is coating the ground as trains glide past. Andermatt is exploding with development that's dependent on a robust winter sports season, anchored by the Chetty Hotel, which has fireplaces in every room, a 25,000 square foot spa, 2-star Michelin dining at the Japanese, and ski butler service to rent gear as a DJ spins sets. At the end of every season, the ski resort above the town lays white fleece blankets on top of a glacier near a main gondola to help preserve it through the summer.
If it's not hot or if it's cloudy a lot in the summertime, it actually prevents it from melting or even leads it to growing a little.
There's also concern in the Italian Alps. The Dolomites will host the Olympics next winter, and snow here has been in short supply in recent years.
In the city of Bolzano, the gateway to the Dolomites, Jurek Research runs climate experiments simulating extreme environments. Research shows in this South Tyrol region, the annual mean temperature has increased 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit since 1980. And across the Alps, snowfall has decreased 34% between 1920 and 2020.
It's different, not so much the amount of rain or snow that is falling, but what is different is when it falls and how it falls.
Ski resorts in the Dolomites have invested in state-of-the-art snowmaking systems, keeping family-owned hotels like La Perla in the village of Corvara in business.
When I was a kid, it was snowing at the end of November till the end of April. These times are past.
The hotel, one of those we stayed for a special rate, evokes the past with local traditions, including staff outfits, candlelight dinners, and wood-paneled rooms with views, but with modern touches like an upgraded spa to embrace a new kind of future. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Korean automaker Hyundai is the latest company to announce a multi-billion-dollar investment in the U.S. The company's subsidiary, Hyundai Steel, will build a nearly $6 billion steel plant in Louisiana. The company also plans to invest another $6 billion in collaboration with U.S. companies in areas like self-driving cars, robotics, and artificial intelligence. There are mounting privacy concerns after genetic testing company 23andMe filed for bankruptcy on Sunday. The company is searching for a buyer. It said in its bankruptcy announcement that any buyer would have to observe the applicable privacy laws for customer data. Still, users who are concerned can log into their account and request that the company delete their data. 23andMe will then send an email to confirm the request to delete the data, which the user then has to verify. And fans of Chick-fil-A's Parmesan Caesar dressing can soon get their fix at their local grocery store. The chicken chain is also adding its zesty buffalo and honey mustard sauces to the lineup of bottled take-home condiments. All three are rolling out on store shelves sometime this spring. That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
We're going to start with a live look downtown Pittsburgh. We've got a few clouds out there, and we'll start to go partly cloudy as the morning progresses. We've got an absolutely beautiful day ahead of us. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline in Joplin. You can see a lot more cars out on the roadways. We get this Tuesday underway. So here's what we are looking at on to the future track by this afternoon. We'll have those partly cloudy skies. They're not going to be necessarily as warm as we thought we would be today, but we're not going to be cold either. We got a very nice day as we head into the upper 60s and low 70s, and we'll have a light north breeze as well, so not a bad day whatsoever across the region. Another mild evening for us as well. 53 in Joplin right now, coming back up to 46 in Pittsburgh, and the majority of us into the upper 40s and low 50s across the region. So again, a very nice start to the day all in all, and still Cassville, still the warm spot, sitting at 54 degrees. Kids getting on the bus this morning, looking to be right around 49, partly cloudy, and a west breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour, and into the afternoon we go 70 when the bus brings them home, still partly cloudy, and a north breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. And we do have some thunderstorm chances starting by Thursday morning, and we are still watching that potential for some strong storms as we head into the upcoming weekend. We'll go over those details with you here in just a moment. We're also going to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries, those of course right after this break, but first, here's what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Tony Nicopol. Coming up on CBS Mornings, the new National Medal of Honor Museum is reopening old wounds for one family. I'll talk with the sister of an Air Force hero who feels her brother's legacy is being overshadowed again, this time in the new museum. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
All right, time for some Tuesday birthdays here in the 4 states, and we're going to start in Chautauqua with Clara Connard celebrating birthday number 1. Happy birthday, Clara.
Cade Hutto is celebrating their 12th birthday from Columbus, Kansas. Happy birthday, Cade.
And in Lamar, we've got Kelly Wilson celebrating birthday number 12. A very happy birthday to you, Kelly.
Allie Wade is celebrating birthday number 16. Happy birthday, Allie. She's from Pittsburgh, Kansas.
And in Riverton, Jared Newman celebrating birthday number 41. I worked with this guy back at the 7th Street Walmart in Joplin, and he's still there. So if you see him today, make sure you wish him a very happy birthday.
Bob Daves is celebrating birthday number 47. He's from Columbus, Kansas. Happy birthday, Bob.
And in Pittsburgh, Judy Garner is celebrating birthday number 82. A very happy birthday to you, Judy.
Jay and Debbie Evans are celebrating their 46th anniversary. They're from Columbus, Kansas. Congrats, you two.
And also in Columbus, Lori Combs celebrating another year wiser today as well. And of course, a very happy birthday and anniversary to everybody on our list. And of course, if you'd like to celebrate with us, Melissa has some information you need to know.
Yes, you can visit the KOAM website on birthdays at KOAMnewsnow.com.
Of course, make sure you meet that deadline you see at the bottom of your screen. And of course, tell us when your celebration is. That way, it will air on the correct date, because you don't want to not celebrate on the right date. All right. We have the right day today. We have a beautiful spring day out there. Right now, again, mostly clear skies to start. We'll start to see partly cloudy skies later. Beautiful sunrise downtown Pittsburgh. Just a few clouds here and there. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline in Joplin also looking pretty fantastic this morning as well. On to the future track we go. So by noon, we're going to be looking at those partly cloudy skies. Our temperature is very pleasant out there. Not as warm as we were thinking yesterday, but still pretty good. The majority of us should at least make the low 70s heading into the afternoon. We go overnight, we'll go mostly clear for a bit, and then we'll see the return of the clouds as we head into our Wednesday. At times, we could even be mostly cloudy, so partly to mostly cloudy skies here and there. But otherwise, just another great day. Temperatures maybe a little cooler depending on how much cloud cover you see, but not by much. Upper 60s, low 70s for our Wednesday. Then late Wednesday, very early Thursday, maybe as early as 2 a.m., we'll start to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms rolling into our western counties, and those will continue through the first half of our Thursday. And by about noon, 1 o'clock, as you can see, they are done. They are out of here, and will actually be warmer on Thursday as we go upper 70s, maybe even some low 80s out there. We go into Friday, we have some pop-up storm chances, and then we've got those storm chances this weekend, which we're going to talk about here in just a moment. Sitting at 53 in Joplin right now. The winds are calm. Beautiful sunrise again from our camera at 7th and Rangeline. Temperatures across the area about 10 to 12 degrees warmer for most of us than where we were yesterday, as we're into the upper 40s and low 50s. In Cassville, still the warm spot sitting at 54. Into the morning we go, starting at about 50, partly cloudy, and eventually into the low 60s by 11 o'clock this morning. Again, that is ahead of our highs, eventually making the upper 60s. And again, most of us should reach the low 70s out there, partly cloudy, and that light north breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Into the evening we go, still partly cloudy, still fairly mild, near 60 by 10 o'clock, eventually falling back into the upper 40s, low 50s. Mostly clear skies, and those winds will be calm. So there we have those thunderstorm chances. Now Friday, they're pop-up storm chances. So again, on the future track, they don't show up as well. Not everyone will see rain Friday, but we could get a couple of thunderstorms. Now Thursday, Friday, not anticipating any severe weather with any of the activity we're expecting. It's this weekend that we've got to watch. And so here's what's changed since yesterday. Yesterday, virtually the entire area for Saturday was in a possible risk for severe weather. Now that's gone. And on the long range, or what they call days 4 through 8, there's only two categories, possible or probable. And the possible's been removed. It won't be until we get closer to Saturday that it starts breaking down in that 1 through 5 range in terms of strong or severe thunderstorms. So right now there isn't that threat, and there's an expectation that a cap will be in place across a good portion of our area, which is why they've removed that severe threat at this point, and that will limit thunderstorm development. That's not to say we won't see thunderstorms Saturday. It will just limit their ability to intensify, and that's the expectation now. But again, yesterday, that was not the expectation. We're still several days out from Saturday, so we want to watch this very closely. And the other reason we want to watch Saturday very closely is because of our severe threat early Sunday that still is in place for some of us. So that means that some of those storms could be strong to low grade, severe, and possibly intensify overnight Saturday into early Sunday morning before they do eventually roll out of here by Sunday afternoon. So here's what that severe threat looks like. Again, tomorrow into Friday and Saturday, the severe threat has been removed. But for Sunday, along and east of the I-49 corridor, the possible is back. And so we'll monitor it very closely as we head into the weekend. We want you to monitor it very closely as we head into the weekend as well, especially if you have any outdoor plans or any plans really at all to travel this weekend. We want to keep a close eye on this. And if anything changes, we'll let you know. We'll have another look at your forecast here in just a moment, as well as the news you need to know. And when we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., a class of kindergartners in Michigan came together to celebrate the adoption of one of their classmates.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities in Cherokee County, Kansas recover remains suspected to be those of 19-year-old Jaden Santini. Santini was reported missing in December 2023. The Cherokee County Sheriff's Department says they've received a call reporting the discovery of skeletal remains in a wooded area just west of Columbus. The remains have been turned over to the coroner's office for official identification. Drivers in Kansas highways will be required to move over when passing stationary vehicles displaying hazard warning lights. Under this new law, move-over protections will apply to all highway vehicles displaying hazard lights. 82 crashes have occurred from 2018 to 2023 with someone in a vehicle while on the side of the road. Independence Community College votes to approve a resolution of intent to consolidate with Coffeyville Community College. Trustees from both schools have discussed the possibility of merging for more than a year. The next step is for both schools to contact the Kansas Board of Regents to get approval for a special public election. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And as you head out the door, we've got an absolutely beautiful spring-like day ahead of us. We'll be into the upper 60s, most of us low 70s, partly cloudy skies and a north breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Calm winds overnight, still mild through the evening, partly cloudy near 60 by 10, back into the upper 40s and low 50s overnight tonight. Another very nice day tomorrow, but a mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies. We'll have those morning thunderstorms Thursday. Again, no severe weather expected with any of that. And then we've got the opportunity for some pop-up storms on Friday, and then we're watching that potential severe threat this weekend. Of course, we'll keep you updated as we get closer to this weekend.
And coming up today at noon, we're making cheesy stuffed herb chicken in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Next on CBS Mornings, the fallout of a text chain among top White House officials that included a reporter and what the legal and national implications could be.
Or you can switch on over with us to Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Jasmine Kyle from the SEK Humane Society joins us in the studio with a four-legged friend.
And Charlene Patton also in the studio with another incredibly healthy recipe. However, it's going to wrap things up for us for now. Be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.